So hello everyone, just gonna stop the music because I'm in a beautiful area right now. As you can see, there is a little wind, but not so much. While we're quite nearby the seaside, we're quite nearby the IJsselmeer, a big lake somewhere halfway in the Netherlands, or a big part of the Netherlands. So my name is Stefan. I'm a guide in the Netherlands and in Belgium, and this is an extra tour. Some of you have seen it. I see already about 80 people. Wow, that's a lot. 80 people joining me while I'm on my way to do later today. Fingers crossed it's going through. Later today I will do finally, hopefully, after 3 times of trying, a balloon flight. So we got the green light earlier today that I can go in the balloon. So hopefully the wind will not be too strong this evening, because there is a little wind, but normally in the evening it is getting a little less windy. So, and on my way, because I had to go from Amsterdam up to the north, I'm now a little in a part of the Netherlands that is called that's literally reclaimed land, or claimed land. So this used to be a sea, and you can still see it as a little. If you're looking behind me, you can see these windmills. Some of them were standing on the dike, because a little after there you see that's the land is a little higher. That is the dike that's protecting this part of the country against what is now a lake, but what used to be the Southern Sea. So I'm now walking over here on the bottom of the sea. So I should almost swim over here underwater, because we are some meters underwater right now. And I'm really happy that the quality of the stream is good. That's one of the things that I tried a lot this week. Some of you have seen the test tours that I did in Belgium mainly, and that was all to make sure that I had a good quality of the stream to take you over here, and of course later today in the balloon. So and the quality is so good. Yeah, I'm just using a third-party app in combination with YouTube. So that's was advised by some guides, and I tried it. Sorry, I had a hair on my nose, so it was a little itchy. So no, but and thank you already for the tip. That's really appreciated. This is only a short pre-tour because I'm on my way, and I thought, like, okay, when going to the location where the balloon is starting, and it is a northwestern wind, so I had to go a little even more north than expected. But there are already on the way a lot of these beautiful flower fields. So I'm now here in an area, and you can see behind me there are all kind of colors, from yellow to red to orange to even some pink kind of. Later on I will all show you. And there's also a tiny part where we can see the variations of about 1500 different types of tulips. So it's not like the Keukenhof, because you're also in another part of the Netherlands, but I thought I can show you around at least. And oh, someone is asking about a scent. Julie, you're asking about the scent. The scent of a tulip is not very strong. So it's not very strong. So it is not that I'm standing here and that I'm like overwhelmed by a scent or by a fragrance. No, it's not like that. It is you can smell it a little, but not very strong. There are other flowers, like for example the hyacinth, that are a lot stronger. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna change the screen, and then I'm gonna tell you a little more about where we are, about the tulips, about the area. Also, and the interesting thing is we're gonna see a big variation of tulips, about 1500 different ones. I of course don't know all of them by name. Really, I'm just gonna use my ears, but some of them are really old. So one of the variations that the farmer who is also growing the tulip fields over here, but he also have some old variations out of the 17th century. So I'm really looking forward also to showing you that. So let me see how I can. It's always, I'm not completely this yet. Yeah, there we are. So, and you see, by the way, on the side that there are a lot of cars standing. It is of course Saturday, so people are coming over here to see the fields, to see this in a beautiful day, because it's for the first time. It is finally the first time that I can feel the spring. That's quite unique because the last weeks it was always cold, it was rainy, it was hailing, it was even 2 days ago it was almost 0 degrees in Amsterdam. So I had to. I'm really happy that we finally have some spring weather over here. And look how beautiful these orange ones are over here. And you can maybe hear some of the sounds of the wind because it is still apart. It's nearby the sea. There's not a lot of trees to protect us. But look how beautiful these orange ones are. And of course, it's a brilliant color. Not only that, but it's also our national Dutch color. So, and in the week, this was also the week of King's Day. That was 2 days ago, to be precise. So I thought, like, let's show you at least some beautiful orange tulips too. And one of the interesting things is, I said already, I'm here on the bottom of what used to be a sea. And you can also see that if I'm showing you a little more of the ground. If you look at the ground, you can see that it is a yellow. It is sea clay, and there's a lot of sand. So it is not a very rich ground, but these kind of sounds are perfect for flowers like the tulip. So I'm just going to go around there. People are taking pictures with their little girl. It's very cute, but I'm always trying not to film other people. So, and they're very vibrant, yeah. So, and Lynn is saying, I've never seen orange tulips before. Ah, yeah, sure, because it is not a very uncommon color, but you've maybe not seen so many altogether as over here. So, and yeah, the rows are very well defined, and that's the interesting thing, because this whole area over here, this is called the Noordoostpolder. The Noordoostpolder, that's one of the parts in the Netherlands that is reclaimed. Used to be a sea, and about 100 years ago, they were starting a big project to make new parts of land in the Netherlands. Something that we've been doing for generations before already, but the big project started around that time by first cutting off the Southern Sea, and then they were starting to make new land, and the area over here, the Noordoostpolder, is one of these areas. Since the 50s, it is new land, and while you have new land, you can completely structure it yourself. So everything is straight over here, and that's quite unique compared to other parts of the Netherlands, and not only the Netherlands, also big parts of Europe. But over here, everything is straight lines, and you can even see that in the lines over here with all these tulip fields. So hundreds of meters of tulips, all just in one line, all in the same color, like the ones over here. By the way, these ones, the tulips over here that we see, these red ones, red with a yellow, with a little bit of white, and the ones over here, they're looking quite fancy, isn't it? Quite fancy tulips. And the ones over here are called Armani. So it is, we have thousands of variations, but these ones over here are called Armani. And they're gorgeous for sure. For sure. So I also want to try to show you a little the inside of the tulip. So here is the inside of the Armani. And you can see there's even some purple and some yellow. So there are more colors than only the red and white. Oh, sorry, this is my gimbal that's not working with me. But let me go to the little piece at the side, because here at the side we have a lot more variations. Different heights, different colors, different types, all of them. And the interesting thing is, this is just because the farmer over here, he loves tulips, and he wanted to show all of us the variation of the tulip. So he has a little project that is taking him a lot of time. It's more like a hobby. But we planted all these different variations that we can see over here all of them together to show all of us the variations of the tulips, the different colors, the types, and everything. So, and this is just for him, said already, a hobby project. And I can leave a gift at the end. Can leave a gift, so I will do that at the end. So because it's taking him a lot of work, and it's something next to having a company, selling, of course, all the tulips. And one of the interesting things is that this man he has several fields. He has several fields, and every year he is making a show garden, like the one over here. And every year that's on another location, because because with all these people coming over here, there's quite a big chance. There's quite a big chance that there's a disease coming into the fields. So to make sure that these diseases will not spread next year, he will be placing it in another location. And then look over here at these ones here at the side. Very, very, very deep purple. And so deep purple that we are calling this a black tulip. So, and the one over here, the names are there, by the way, is called the blackjack. This is blackjack. Now I want to present you blackjack over here. And blackjack is next to this very white one that's a little smaller, as you can see. That's called blanche fleur. Blanche standing for white and fleur for flower, of course. And all these combinations together. I'm just gonna do some of the shots that you have seen from me before at the end view, and with the blue sky, this is amazing. And with all these colors next to each other, even more. And we have several white ones. And if you're thinking about white, then a lot of Dutch people in wintertime, they're thinking about snow, and some of them are going to ski in the Alps. And this tulip over here is named after one of the famous locations in the Alps. It's called Insel. So, and there's not only Insel, but there's also a variation of Insel, and that's next to it. That is the parrot one. So look at the one over here, the parrot tulip. This is amazing. Always with a interesting, very interesting shape. You almost don't recognize it as a tulip anymore. And also, let me see, it is a little windy. If you're going inside, you can also see that the shape inside is also a little different. Oh, that's my gimbal again. So sometimes I'm doing a little too much. So, and then the ones over here in white and also in pink, in the form of a lily a little more. So as you can see, there are so many variations, and he placed them all together over here. There are even more variations that we can find over here than in Keukenhof. So imagine that. Because over there are of course also a lot of variations, but the beds are a lot bigger. And here it's just, what is it, about maybe 20 tulips from every type. Only 20. And then there is the next type already. So it's going on. Love the purple. And the edges were looking a little nibbled. Yeah, that was from the parrot tulip for sure. So we will see more. Don't worry about that. I'm just starting. I'm just starting with showing you some of the variations. So, and in doing all these tulip tours, I've learned quite a lot about the variations that there are. And one of the things is that tulips can be until about a meter high, but some of them are also very tiny, like the ones over here, named Calgary. So there are more places with a lot of snow. So Calgary, this is specifically for if we have some Canadians already. I don't know. We have already some Canadian voyagers joining me for today. I also love this, to have these shots with the hand shot with the tulips a little further. You can see how high they are compared to the other ones. So you have a big variety. You like the dark purple, yeah, the dark purple or the black even. Depends a little if it's if you're still calling it purple or even black. But there's so many variations. Yellow, hello, hello, yellow. And let me show you some more. I'm just going to the other side of the bed here, so because I'm seeing some very interesting parrot ones with these interesting sides. So let me just go to the other side. Then I have the sun from behind. It's also a little different perspective. But over here, look at this. Look at the ones over here. Do they look like tulips? Almost not. Almost not, but these are also variations of the parrot tulip. So it looks a little, or in Dutch we say pakiet tulip, in English the parrot tulip. And Robin, try to focus. And here we have other ones. Also, that's why I wanted to go to this side. We have some other variations, other color variations. And this is called Weber's Parrot Spectrum. So yeah, it's a spectrum of colors almost. And look at this. Wow. This is amazing, isn't it? And then here at the side we have some of the more traditional variations, a little more with white and purple, looking a little more like the old variations of the tulips that have been there since the 17th century. You see on the side all these cars. There are a lot of people coming because this month, it is also in this area, they have in the Noordoostpolder their own tulip festival. Their own tulip festival. And that's a whole route that you can do by car or also by bike or sometimes even some parts even walking to see a lot of the variations. And look how beautiful it is. It is and I don't just have to tell you one thing. I'm not using any filter. I'm not using any filter to make it more colorful. This is just the colors here in front of us. And Karen, you're welcome. You're welcome. I'm not pretending to know everything about tulips, but I know a lot after a while because of doing these tours and then of course I have to know a little more, visiting some tulip farmers, learning about the techniques to plant them, to how to get them, how to grow them, and everything. And I always love on my tours to have a little combination, of a good time to enjoy, but also to learn something about what we're seeing. And over here, we have another variation. You can see that the ones over here, this is not a parrot tulip, but this is a so-called fringed tulip. So the end of the petals it is a little like little teeth. So it is a beautiful, and they call this fringed tulips. So that's one of the variations. So basically there are 6 different variations of the tulips or categories of the tulips, and every category has thousands of different colors and heights and everything. So for example, one of the other ones, just when we're going here, look how beautiful this one is over here. So how beautiful is this one? Orange again. This is also called the Orange Princess. So I think it's a Dutch princess. And it is a so-called double tulip. So it has a double layer of petals. And thank you, Tish, for asking people to like. And of course, also thank you for buying me a coffee or PayPal or something like that. That's how I can keep on doing these tours. So from the Orange Princess, we're going to another princess, another orange princess, only this one is the Princess Irene parrot tulip. So another beautiful combination. And the interesting thing is that in the Netherlands we're always making fun a little about Princess Irene because she's she loves nature. She's a so-called a tree hugger, but she has even a parrot, a crazy parrot tulip named after her. By the way, that's for all the royals. And when I'm at this moment, I'm looking at this. Look, there are some bees even getting into the tulips. So imagine that you are a bee. Yeah, there was a bee for sure. And then we have over here another, and I really a fan myself of these parrot tulips. So we have the one called Rococo, and next to that the Bluemax favorites. Yeah, all the names are standing here. I don't know them all by head. I only know the categories, but not all the variations because there are about 50,000. Yeah, and you were thinking, if you're thinking about the Netherlands, you're thinking about windmills, of course. So we have some over here. In my other tours of, for example, the Keukenhof gardens, we have the more traditional windmills. Here we have the modern ones that are making more and more green energy. So that's what we can see over here. Let me get you a little the view of a bee. So if we're thinking about bees, they're going all over the fields like this. And this is bee's paradise for sure. This is bee's paradise. I'm thinking like, oh, should I have? Oh, this is also a very special one. Should I land in this tulip or maybe the white one or having a pink one, a red one? Just going through some of them. Oh, these white ones. Oh, they're almost like silk. Look at the color. If the sun is coming through, how beautiful they are. And hopefully you're taking some nice postcards or screenshots or but I love it with the when the sun is coming through. And yeah, you can also see that it's quite windy over here. That's typically Dutch, and that's by the way one of the reasons why we are so successful with growing tulips and growing all kind of other flowers in these areas. But because of the winds, it is literally cleaning the flowers from diseases. So it is making it a more healthy environment for all these flowers to grow. So without the wind, if you would do grow it without the wind, then diseases are spreading a lot easier. Oh, look at this. Sometimes for me a little hard to read the chat. That's not only because of the sun, but it's also because I'm sitting on my knees and crouching sometimes almost to give you the best views. So, so I'm just sometimes. I hope you like that also. And yeah, Susan, I was just talking about Princess Irene. Yeah, that is our tree hugger princess. Always making a little fun about her. She's the crazy princess of the royal family. But yeah, we have a Princess Irene, and that most probably it will be an orange tulip too. So, okay, let me see if I'm seeing one at the other side that I want to show you. So I'm just going as a bee a little over the field. I'm just going back because there's a unique one at the other side that I missed. You can see there are a lot more people over here that also are watching. Hi, are watching the tulips. And not only from the Netherlands, but also from other countries, from all around Europe, where people are coming over here, or from all over the world even, to see the tulips. Okay, I'm just going back. Sorry, I'm just to give you an idea. Um, where was it? Yeah. There we are. Okay, over here. I'm just gonna show you this one's over here. These quite a little simple tulips. Um, white and a little purple. White and purple. And this one is a quite unique one because this is one of the oldest do you say a breed of a tulip? One of the oldest breeds there still is, because this is the so-called Lac van Rijn, not the Rembrandt van Rijn, but the Lac van Rijn, and you can see it is from 1620. So from the start of the 17th century, this was one of the first variations of the tulip that was grown. And the flower farmer over here, he really loved to have some of these old variations that we are growing here already for 400 years. And nowadays, most people would say like, oh, it's a quite average. It's a quite average one because it's not very big. It is only two colors. It's not double. It's no parrot. No, but it is. It is history. This one is just history because it's a quite old variation. So I hope you are enjoying it. And by the way, in this area, there are several other ones. So they're also quite old. For example, over here, we have the how do you call it? The Duchesse de Parma from 18020. As you can see over there. Yeah, that's why I know all the names. But that's about 200 years old now. And we also have the Duke of Berlin. This is the Duke of Berlin, just standing next to the Duchess. I don't know if they had a relationship together. Uh, but to just give you an idea of the variation that you can see over here in this garden. And I see someone that it's someone I don't know. I was just missing it. Oh, Leslie, you were saying the ground is looking very dry. No, it's not so dry. It's only with sand ground. With sand ground, it's always that the rain is of course going through the ground a little faster. But I can assure you that this is not. I'm just doing some in the sand. This is not. You see the color of the sand. This is not dry at all. So it's only the first maybe 15 to 20 centimeters. It is dry. Oh, and then the rest is yeah. And there's also drainage. So, but yeah, of course, the tulip they need wind, but not only wind. They're also needing enough water, but not too much water. Not too much water. And then here at the side, look again. I'm almost forgetting. We have all these 1,500 different variations, but then at the side, there are these fields, these tulip fields. Wow. Again, still with the Armani. The Armani tulip is grown here, and then at the back, is there Susan? There is already a Stefan tulip. Yeah, there is one. There's one. To be honest, I forgot how it looks exactly, but there is one. Okay, I'm just gonna show you some other variations again. Oh, I love this place more than I expected. So I was just thinking I'm just doing a short tour before going into the balloon. But look at these ones over here. At the shape of the petals. So, and for example, the one over here is called the Evening Song from singing. The Evening Song. Beautiful red in a very interesting shape. So one of the variations. You can also see that not all of them, like the one over here, for example, is just starting to bloom. So there are variations with the tulips in their blooming period. So there are so-called early bloomers, and there are also late bloomers. And for example, the one over here is still on its way. So that's an extremely late bloomer. Will only be here most probably next month. Although with this weather it can go quite fast. But yeah, there are early bloomers, late bloomers, and the blooming period is changing about 3 to 4 weeks max. So it's not that much. But if you know that you have some early bloomers and some late bloomers, then you can have your tulip garden a little longer if you're combining it in a nice way. I also love the ones over here, by the way. And Etterby is asking, will we be going over this garden on the balloon ride? I don't know exactly. Because that depends on the wind. That depends on the exact location where we will start. And that is one of the things I don't know yet. So I have to go to a certain location at 7 o'clock, and from there we're going to the start location of the balloon, and then we will start somewhere between 7:30 and 8, they say. But it's always depending a little on the wind, and so we have to see. We have to see. But for sure, in this area there will be a lot of fields, and these bigger fields, of course, will be amazing to see from the balloon. And this one, by the way, I was just thinking this is a quite chic one. Yeah, it's called très chic. That's why. Sometimes it's too easy to give it the name. But of course, there are so many variations of tulips, and every year new ones are designed. You're sometimes running out of names. So if you have some good names, maybe I can give them to the flower farmers. So I want the ones over here. Wow, it's never stopping, isn't it? Because I cannot show you 1500s, all of them, but I can show you the yellow spider. This is the yellow spider that we have over here in our middle. And yes, let's see how long the balloon flight is. Normally it's about an hour, not about an hour, but of course you have preparations, and sometimes it's taking a little longer. So let's see, let's see. It will be quite a bigger balloon, I heard. But further, it's all new for me because until now I never made it into the balloon. Almost, almost, but in the end it didn't work out. So, and Linda, yeah, there is already one named Stefan, so that's maybe I should find one for that we are calling Oscar Beer or so, a brown one, or one with the color of honey or so, something like that. I don't know. But look how beautiful all these variations are. And I think I'm now around half of the garden, and there are two lanes, and there are four lanes next to each other, and I'm only showing you one lane the whole time. So we're passing a lot that I cannot show you. So, oh, look how beautiful it is. With all these variations. Okay, just going up a little because you have to imagine, okay, I can also show you what I'm doing the whole time uh, when I'm showing. This is now standing. This is when I'm standing, but a lot of times I'm going through my knees, or sometimes even lower than that, just to give you some of the best views. So, one moment. Why is it not working how I want it to work? So I'm just like laying like this on the ground to get you on the right variation, to on the right side, because for example over here, this is the height of the tulips. So my knees are already under the sand because of getting you there. So sometimes it's literally crawling, or at least getting very low to get you the best the best views. The ones over here, and I go, look at this double yellow. But there's also over here, there is another nice one. It's almost looking a little like an ice cream. And I know that this is a quite new one, and I know that because of the name. Look at the name of this tulip. It's called hashtag. I think that's something from the computer generation. Not a very, not a very old one like the one that we were seeing before. And then, wow, these ones over here, almost like peonies. Almost like peonies. Again, double tulips that we see over here. And there's also, of course, variations. So I was telling you before about the ones with these very specific petals. And here you see a variation of that as a double tulip. So like, wow, it's almost like a rose, isn't it? These are fantastic. I completely agree. And I also want to show you the red variation. Look at this. Look at this. Wow. This one is, by the way, called Qatar. It's the color of the flag of Qatar. And they are there in different variations, different colors. And then over here, a little lower next to it, but maybe even more beautiful, we have Queensland. So over here we have Queensland, a little in the shade of Qatar, but uh, not less beautiful. And then over here, look at this combination of colors. And yes, I agree that it doesn't even look like tulips anymore. But this one is called the sensual touch. The sensual touch. Now you can imagine. Okay, just going up a little again. So, and the quality is better than Hegel. I love to hear that because I did so many tests earlier this week, and several of the tests, of course, did not work at all. Uh, but finally, I think I found the way how to give you the best quality. Uh, and hopefully, most of you now also have a way to take screenshots to do that, or with your device directly, or with an app in the browser, so you can directly take screenshots from the YouTube videos. Oh, you now see me a little. That's interesting. Because of the sun, the other side. Okay, you have a beautiful variations over here of red ones. Okay, Lynn, your favorites are the white and pink ones. White and pink in combination, because we have over here a pink one, and of course I also have a white one. And this one over here is called the Snow Prince. A Snow Prince. A double one again, not fringed. So it's good to hear that you can take screenshots now again. Wow, this is so amazing to see this all together, isn't it? With the blue sky at the back, and even with some of these more modern windmills. I mean, it's not the traditional Dutch. And yeah, you know already, my favorite is the parrots. So I'm going to show you some more parrots over here on the side, called the Rij. Rij is king, isn't it? Just going a little through it as the ants would see it. So a blue sky impresses any photo. Yeah. Well, although sometimes it's also beautiful to have different skies. It's not always, or it can be also really cool. For example, earlier last week when I had a tour with the parade, I was cycling from the Keukenhof Gardens to the parade. It was about 20 minutes, I think, on the bike. And then what happened is that there was some sun, but the main color of the sky was still gray. And then I was going under a gray sky, passing some tulip fields that were just in the sun, and that combination was maybe even more beautiful. So I felt like, okay, wow. And I love these pictures from downstairs, as you from down to have the sun, and then together with some of the beautiful, more traditional tulips. Maybe this was the favorite of one of you. White and pink in a combination. So, and I can also see with all these names here that a lot of the white tulips are really inspired by areas in the Alps. So the one over here, the white one over here, is called the Matterhorn, named after the famous mountain in Switzerland. And look how beautiful they all are, really. And then the one over here. Do we have someone from Memphis today on the tour? Because this one is called the Memphis tulip. a beautiful pink one again with also very specific petals that are little going white at the end. And yes, Ronnie, I was thinking about your favorite too. But for me, it's always if I'm seeing all these variations, I'm thinking, oh, this is my favorite. And then after a while, I think like, oh, but that one I also really love. Oh, and that one also. And after a while, I have 10 favorites. So, oh, by the way, the man over here, he is the farmer. He is the one who is taking care of all of this. And he's doing his administration, I think, to see the quality. Uh, and I was reading that it's taking him a lot of work to make sure that every year all these 1500s do not get any diseases, that they're still as beautiful. And oh, I said already, I have so many that I love, and then every time I see another one, this is almost. This is a double tulip again. Double tulip again with white and pink, Ronnie. White and pink. But then, yeah, it is looking like an ice cream, isn't it? Almost like an ice cream. Don't eat it, by the way. And Margaret's asking, do the flower win prizes? Yeah, they have some. They have some prizes every year. That's true. So, but of course, in the end, for a farmer, the biggest prize is that if they, after about 20 to 25 years, because it's taking 20 to 25 years to make a new breed, to make a new variation, if after 20 to 25 years they can finally start the mass producing of a specific tulip, that is for them their biggest prize. And it's really taking a lot of work to get there because you have so many variations. And one of the things that people don't know is if you are starting with a new tulip. For example, if you think I want to design a new variation, then what they do is they're combining the seeds out of two tulips to grow a new variation. And then the new variation is growing. And the thing is that it takes several years before you see a flower. It will take about 6 to 7 years before the first flowers are there. So after combining, then you have to wait 6 to 7 years before you can even see the color. So maybe it turns out that there's a completely different combination that you're combining a white and a purple one, and you're thinking, oh, it will be white and purple, and then in the end it is a little more yellow and green. That can happen. So you only see that after 6 to 7 years. So what they're doing, they're making different variations in their different tryouts. And then after 6 to 7 years, they see, and then they have like one or two where they think like, oh, this can be a good one, but there's more because also they're looking at the quality. Is the bulb strong enough? Is the bulb big enough? Is it a healthy one? Because all that kind of things will define how easy it is to grow more of them, and not only to grow more of them but also to make a mass production where you can, of course, in the end make money. And from all the tulips that are starting, only about 1% or even less than 1% will in the end make it to show gardens like this. So it's unbelievable how much time and effort it will cost before you have a complete new one. So yeah, of course, that's for all of us. If you just have some flowers at home, then you're buying already the ones that have a good quality. So then the chance is bigger that you will get a beautiful tulip the next season. But of course, you still need to make sure that you are uh, that they're growing well, and that you're giving them enough water, enough love. So give love to the tulips to get. Uh, no, no, don't give love to tulips. Oh, talk to the tulips. Okay, yeah, you see, someone is saying over here, and maybe that's someone who knows a little more about tulips than I do. Talk to the tulips. That is the trick. So I have been doing that already. Thank you for that advice. Dankjewel. Look how beautiful, by the way, this one is over here. Another variation of what we call a black tulip. Although it is not completely black, but almost. And then over here, see the beautiful snow parrots. Completely white. Although not completely white. If you're looking inside, you see some other colors too. But of course the petals are completely white. As long. Oh, Leslie, your king talks to plants, so that's a little the same as our Princess Irene. Okay, that's good to know. That's maybe something that's happening more in the royal family or royal families. Look how beautiful. Oh, and I really like the white ones here at the end. You see that they are a lot taller. Oh, that they're a lot taller than others. Some loud Dutchies are just passing me. It was not the lady that was advising us before. Maybe she was advising them scream to the tulips to let them grow more. Oh, Prince Charles is also talking to tulips, okay, or to flowers and plants. That's good to know. That's good to know. I didn't know that. Thank you for the information. Okay, I think I'm almost at the end. I'm almost at the end, and I'm just gonna show you a little more because it's not an hour yet, so we are not there. But there's still some other ones here that I also want to show you. Okay, wait, I'm just going to the other side. I was talking before about late bloomers. There are also early bloomers, and here we have an example of the early bloomers. You see no flower anymore. And why is there no flower anymore? Because they're doing that to get to make sure that next year they can use the bulb again for a new show garden. And if they're not doing that, if they let them flower, then there's a big chance that next year the quality of the tulip is not so high. So, oh, Jane is saying studies show if you talk positive to plants, it helps them grow. Okay, that's good to know. That's good to know. I also heard about studies to play classical music to them. That's why I was studying with classical music. I was thinking maybe these ones will grow a little more. Okay, and talking about big tulips, but they're also very tiny ones. Look at these ones. It's called the Little Beauty. It's called the Little Beauty. And they're very tiny ones. And to be honest, these ones are looking a little more like the original tulips. So the original tulips, as some people are thinking they're coming from Turkey, but no, they're coming originally from the mountains of Kazakhstan. And the wild tulips over there were a little more tiny than the ones that we are used to see nowadays. And you can still find them, by the way. If you're traveling to Kazakhstan, it's not the most famous travel destination. Look how beautiful it is again. Okay, I'm seeing a lot of advice on how to treat your tulips, even correct them, like if it's a cat or a dog. Okay, I will all remember this. The only thing is that Stefan doesn't have a garden. He's living on the 11th floor, but yeah, he can have some tulips. And most of the time, he's just buying some tulips to have on the kitchen table. So, and beautiful variety, isn't it? Yeah, and here at the side, we still have the variety. Now I have a little less variety, but also beautiful to see the fields. I made it now to the end of all the flowers, and we have the Dutch flag over here with red, white, and blue. Um, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show my face again because we almost did an hour, and this was only an extra tour. Oh, it is too bright. So I'm keeping my shades, my sunglasses, because it's a little too sunny, and I'm not used to it yet, because this is the first day that it really feels like spring. So now I wanna thank you for joining me today on this little different flower tour on my way all the way to the balloon fly. So I want to thank you for joining. I see more than 100 people. Wow, that's unique for such a last minute tour. So, but of course, this is still the preparation for the tour this evening when I will go in a balloon that will be a little more up north. So I have to go more up north to the province of Friesland. So province of Friesland is a little more up north, and that's somewhere where we will start to go in the balloon and then all over the fields. And then we're ending most probably somewhere in this area. But where exactly, I don't know, because it depends on the wind, and the wind can change, and the direction can change, and not only direction, also the wind speed. So we will see. We will see how it will be. So, but I really want to thank you for joining me today, and I hope to see you again. Thank you for all the tips and all the nice words. And so hopefully to see you in it's I think about 2 hours from now. So, but yeah, and let's see if I will get into the air. I'm ready. Oscar is ready too. So he's still in the car, and we're going for it. Okay, thank you. Bye bye, and thank you for all the support. And then where to stop? There to stop.